Hi guys, and welcome back to the Dog Days podcast. My name is Pamela Chandler, and with me today I have
Noelle
and
Rachel.
I didn't cut you off that time.
There we go. We did it. We're getting better.
I took it easy on the caffeine today. Welcome back, everybody. And we have a topic that we've had quite a few people reach out and ask us to cover, and it's a big topic as always. And we're doing a series on safety. When we talk about safety, gosh, that covers so many different things, right? And we sat down and said, we're going to have to break this one up. So today we're going to be talking about approaching dogs safely, children with dogs, safety regarding that, dog to dog, introductions, on leash, off leash. What's the best way to manage these situations? You have a dog coming at you that you don't know. So we're going to give you tips. It's not always easy, and it's not always your natural reaction. And some things work and some things just don't, but we're going to give you some things to think about. In our safety series going forward, we're going to be covering things like plants, trees, things in your home, household items that are toxic to dogs. Foods, medicines, things that you may not know about. So it's gonna be a cool series, and I think people are gonna find it really, really helpful, and we'll have a lot of good stories surrounding that. And then we have a special guest coming on, and I'm hoping we get him in within the next couple weeks because it's super timely coming into warm weather all across the country. It's an expert in rattlesnakes. So we're gonna have him talking to you, and he loves this stuff. My skin will be crawling for sure, but he loves it and he's really good at it, and he's going to have a lot of cool information. Okay, so today I will stay on topic, and we are going to talk about dogs and children, dogs and dogs, dogs and people, just all the way around how to safely handle situations. In the United States, annually, 4.5 million dog bites recorded on the average each year. That's a big number.
Okay, so question. Dog bites, is this dogs biting humans or dogs biting
Dogs biting humans.
Only humans. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's huge.
And the worst statistic of that is 50% of them are children. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why.
Okay.
Why do they bite children? There's a lot of really good reasons, and there are simple things you can do to really avoid this. We get calls all the time. Hey, we're having a baby. Baby's due, in a couple of months. Can you come to our home and give us tips on how to help the dog? Or baby's here. What do we do? Mm-hmm. Because a newborn baby is a lot different than a toddler. It's a lot different than a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old. It's a different energy level. It's moving. It smells different. So, easing the dog into that is so important.
Yeah.
So we really have to cover that. And a lot of you may be sitting there saying, my dog would never do that. The majority of those bites, I hate to tell you, are not strange dogs. They are family dogs. They're dogs in the household that end up biting the children. And it always surprises people. And I know we did a whole series on body language, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more today too, and tell some really good stories and simple things that you can see in your dog where you go, ooh, they're not comfortable right now. You have to help the dog. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of dog, guess who just walked in the room?
Sid!
Sid's here. Yeah, she's itching herself in the corner, so maybe she'll make an appearance today. We shall see. So since we jumped into that, why don't we start with the topic of dogs and kids?
Okay.
There she goes. She's itching. Sorry, guys. Hopefully she'll stop. I will never forget this in-home I did. It was a lovely family, young couple. They had their first baby in the house, and they had this pit bull, and he was darling. He was 11 years old. And she said, something about the way he's acting when the baby's in the room is making me really uncomfortable. And the baby was moving age, so under a year, crawling, grabbing. You have no control over a baby at that age. Moms out there, this is the day after Mother's Day. I'll give you all a lot of credit. It's hard because they're unpredictable. They don't understand what you're telling them, and it's your job to stay on top of the baby. So I went to the house, and the dog had a crate, which was great. And the baby was in the other room because it was making them all nervous. They weren't totally sure why. And I said, okay, I'm going to put the dog on leash. It was a big dog. It was a big pit bull. He was very sweet and gentle. And Grandma walked in carrying the toddler. I said, carry him in first. And that dog started yawning like there was no tomorrow. So if you guys remember from our body language, yawn is a stress relief. Okay, so that he was trying, which is good, because if he weren't yawning and he was just fixating and staring at that baby, that's a lot scarier because that's a dog ready to go. He was trying to calm himself down, and what he's telling us is the presence of this baby makes me very uncomfortable. So that was just a huge red flag going off in my mind. And you guys have seen this. I mean, yawns are a big deal. Yes, sometimes it means they're tired, but when you've got activity of some sort going on or new things in the house or in the room, check for those yawns.
Yeah.
They're a really big deal. So we went back to old-fashioned crate training, and I said, does he like his crate? And she said he does. It was kind of in the corner. They were using it kind of more for like a table, like a coffee table than anything. Yeah, because she said he doesn't really need it anymore. And I said, well, let's open it up and see what he does. And he went right in, no problem. So he still liked that crate. So part of this was desensitizing him, giving him a place to go that was safe. And we took a pen and we actually put it in front of that crate.
Nice.
So the baby couldn't even get near the crate. So what we were doing was helping the dog. It was really important to help the dog because you can't tell the baby, this isn't a 10-year-old child,
Right.
that you can say, do not go near that dog's crate or there's consequence to you. It's a toddler.
Yeah, we say this all the time that we can't reason with our dogs. You cannot reason with a baby.
You can't reason with a toddler.
Anymore. Right?
Yes, that frontal lobe, I mean, you're not even close to considering development there.
No.
They're just moving and grabbing, and they've got sense, and they can be very scary to dogs. Whale eye is another big one, you know, and again, we brought this up in the body language series, but if a baby is on a dog and you see stiff, so how will you know if the dog is stiff? You will see the whites of their eyes. Okay, and they call that whale eye or half moon eye. It looks like a half moon where the dog is stiff and all that's moving is their eyes. It tells you they're uncomfortable. And we see pictures of this.
Yeah, we do.
Right? Baby crawling on the dog and the owner
dog
saying
is
the
like,
dog
"What?"
loves it. And I'm going, I don't think the
so.
dog loves it. The dog is tolerating. And if you come over and remove that baby and say, good dog, they will start to trust your judgment with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. So toddlers, young children, babies, why do they get bit most and where do they get bit most? Yeah, sadly, right in the face.
Right in the face, yeah.
Right in the face. Yeah, because as humans, what we're looking for are facial expressions from people as we learn to communicate with things. And children are right at that level, right at the eye level with the dog.
Yeah.
And they gravitate that way. To a dog, it's not natural, it's not comfortable, it feels threatening, something's coming toward me, and that's when they bite. So really watch those toddlers. Teach them maybe to slow pet on the back. I mean, there's a lot of cool games we do with kids. You guys have done this.
Yeah.
You do the slow pets when you go in. Tell them about that.
Absolutely. So, in fact, this has come up twice now in the last, 2 or 3 days. Anything that you can make a contest, it's going to make it more fun for the kid, right? So they're much more likely to do it. And even if you can do it in small little increments, if you're a toddler, I'm dealing with a 7-year-old right now who has a ton of energy, and we find that the puppy also then mirrors that energy. So when that's happening, say, okay, we're going to have a contest. Who can move the slowest? Who's going to win this contest, right? And you can even, the mom was awesome. She said, I'm going to make it be like, I'm going to put on my sportscaster voice.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and they were just totally
it's a
into
game.
it. Oh, it's a total game.
Yes.
And we did it for 2 or 3 minutes, right? To just try and get them to just move slowly. And then see, and see what happens. Look at how the dog responds to that versus when you're charging around. So
It's interesting to see what the dog does.
it is. It was really
'Cause they
interesting because
stop.
they're kind of like, oh.
And it calms them.
And he rolled over. He gave him little belly rubs.
yes.
Yeah.
So the dogs will mirror that energy.
They totally will.
And that's powerful. You know, instead of saying calm down, lay down, sit, do what you want your dog to do.
Yeah.
Especially with those children. It's
Well,
great.
and the kids didn't necessarily understand the mirroring the energy. They're kids. You couldn't really reason with them. So we're going to make it a game.
Make it a game.
Make it fun. Make it a contest.
Absolutely. Contests were huge in our house.
I know that's what you're saying.
Contests were just huge, and there would always be some kind of cheap prize that we were giving out. I did this in-home, wonderful lady, and I just saw her the other day actually, and she's so committed to her dog, but she has grandchildren and she watches them, and there's twin toddlers and then like a 7-year-old. Yeah, and this was a brand new dog that she didn't know. I mean, she adopted him from the Humane, Mr. Jones.
Oh,
Your
Mr.
boyfriend.
Jones.
Yes, he's the cutest.
Oh my God.
And she adopted him from the Humane Society, and all signs point to good with this dog. And he's very mellow, he's very cool, but these are toddlers. Yeah. So she was brilliant and said, hey, just come and watch what's going on. And there's 2 toddlers walking around in diapers that they have on backwards. And it's a mess. You've got
God.
2 toddlers and a 6-year-old. Like, you're in the thick of it, and now you're bringing a dog into this, right? So we did a kisses game where I put a little bit of honey on their arm, which the kids love. Not all kids do. Little boys seem to like it more than little girls.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because it's kind of messy. It's sticky. Yes. But you have the dog lick off their arm. So now we have a nice game for the kids that makes them giggle, and you have something great to teach the dog to do. So we're talking about teaching kids and dogs how to engage.
Yeah. When we start talking about these games, one of the things to consider is that you need to train the games before the situation escalates, right? So kisses do that when the dog is calm, prior to them being mouthy, right? So that they start to make that connection that when mom and dad or kids say kisses, I lick. Yes. I don't put teeth on.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
Same thing with
command.
Drop and even the calm game. Get them to understand what that means before it's out of control.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We also do a touch game, which is a really fun one for a family, teaching the dog to come and just touch a hand. Many of you have probably seen this, a very common command to give, but it's a really good one for kids, especially if you have kids that are a little unsure of the dog because the dog has maybe, knocked them down, plowed into them, jumped on them, So we teach the dog to come to an open hand. So that's a nice way to manage that movement when they're approaching. You do touch games a lot, and we teach this in all of our classes. Honestly, we go through a touch command because there's a lot of things you can use it for. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about is teaching the dog a different way to act around children. And teaching the children a way to act around the dogs.
Yeah, engage safely.
Engage safely. And again, when you have those toddlers, you have to have your dog's back on this one, guys. You need to be watching at all times.
I'm so glad you said that.
Your dog will see you doing it. They'll go, okay, mom's got it. So instead of being in this mindset of, oh crap, here comes that stinky little thing again. It's coming at me. Oh no. It becomes, oh, mom's going to handle it. I'm good. I'm just going to trust the process. That way, when there is a mistake, which there is going to be, you've got toddlers and dogs, the dog is a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more tolerant. But if you're always, counting on them being tolerant, the chances of that going south are really, really high.
Yeah. I actually have another example, too. A 3-year-old, actually 3 kids, grandkids present. They have an 8-month-old larger dog.
Oh, you just saw her the other day, right?
Yeah. Awesome dog. But when I asked more about what the tension was, because that was what they were coming back at us with, is that she's definitely tense around especially the 3-year-old. And there had been some grumbling and things like that. And we thought, okay, this is probably, I know there's a gnat. There's a gnat. This is probably the kids getting into the dog space. And as it turns out, it's over on Rachel. As it turns out, it was actually a combination. So when I asked what had happened, the dog was positioning herself on top of mom and dad's, actually grandma and grandpa's feet, right in front of. So this had to do with the 2 things that we talk about, which is managing the space that the dog is in, as well as what you were just talking about, which is managing the toddler, managing to make sure that if we put her over on her place, which is what we did some place training, then that's off limits. You do not get to go into her space. And
that's on the owners too, to make sure the baby doesn't go over there.
That's right.
I had one in-home, I think I already said this, where she had her space, but I had them put a pen around it. To be on the safe side so that baby couldn't get to her place if mom was in the shower and something was going south.
We talked about that, and I actually, when I sent the training plan, I said we might want to revisit this.
Cool.
So hopefully that.
The placement there is interesting too. When you have a dog that's showing maybe a little resourcey, because there's a thing with food.
Yep.
And then possibly with the owners because of her positioning.
That's right.
Right?
That's exactly it. Because there was no food involved in the second time. Actually, Dad might have been eating dinner.
Okay.
But it was there was none of her food. Involved in it. No toys, no anything. It was
an instinct or not. We talked about this in the last podcast. You have to redirect it.
Yeah.
You have to redirect that behavior. You can't tell the dog, don't feel this way, and you can't punish them. You give them something else to do. So redirecting to a place is just the way to do it.
Yeah. And do it enough that they understand when I feel like this, I need to do this.
I need to do this. Yep, exactly. And it just calms everything down.
Yeah.
Socialization is another really big deal. I was just talking to a lady on the phone on the way over here. She adopted litter mates. We all take a deep breath. Pit bull shepherd. Puppies. male
Cutest
littermates.
things in the world.
They're the cutest things in the world. They have a big
And-
space and a lot of people fully committed. I said we want to have this conversation, but that's a whole nother story, littermates. But socialization in this piece was something we talked about because they have young kids in the home. They have like a 7 and a 9-year-old, which isn't toddler, which is good. You can educate them, you can give them rules, but there's still a lot of bitey going on, and they're active kids and they're running around, and these little puppies, they're 11 weeks and they're already almost 30 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to be giant. And I said, you want to get them around other puppies and let them use their mouth on other puppies and let them learn that behavior. And then when they come home from that puppy play, that's when the kids engage, because now we have a positive engagement, right?
So
And the kids can act nutty, but the dogs have already kind
Yeah.
of met the need and they're a little tired. So socialization helps with this a lot too.
Super. And
So.
and they'll learn that there's a difference between human puppies and dog puppies, right? I mean,
They
that's-
will, because what happens with human puppies is they go ow and they run
Yeah.
away and they make funny noises and they squeal and the puppy goes, yeah.
Exactly.
Let's do that again.
Yee.
That was fun. I like
like
that
that.
noise you made.
Yeah. Let me try again.
And then everyone's afraid of the puppy. And, like we talked about that Jacobson's organ, the puppy smells those pheromones. They go, ooh, this is kind of fun. I'm going to chase her because here's what happened. And we've just got a mess.
Yeah.
We've just got a mess, right? And the puppy's learning to kind of control the household. So it's slightly off topic, but, these things all go together when you're looking at the relationship with the dog.
Absolutely.
And starting with puppies and little kids is a big deal. So that's a great topic. And we have all sorts of great tips, you guys. If this is something new, if you have kids coming into your home or you're a young couple and you're going to have kids someday and you have a dog in the house, there's things you can be training them now that
Yeah.
you can use when the children come.
And it's not just puppies either.
Right.
It's older dogs
Absolutely.
where you've got a new human coming in the house that we've touched on in various episodes as well.
Because those older dogs might get a little jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken away a lot of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on. I think we got that one. Do you have anything to add to that one? You do a lot of puppy training. Anything you can add there with kids? She's got them in her puppy classes. And Rachel's training kids and puppies.
Oh my God, they show up with the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It
It's
is. We
important.
love it.
It's important.
Yeah, I mean, I'll include the kids. Like when we do our human approach, I'll have the kids do it so that
Good.
they can learn. And it's helping the puppies be, exposed to children, but it's also teaching the kids, like there's a way to approach a dog, whether they're young, whether they're big, whether they're small. There's a way to approach them and there's a way to not approach them. So
Yeah.
I think it's really important to, involve the kids in the training that you do. But like you said, just preparing if you know you have a little one on the way, or like you said, even if you don't have one on the way, but you eventually want to get to that point, little tips and tricks, get them around kids if you can, if they're young enough. Or if you're seeing anything weird and you're like, I want to have kids down the road, talk to a trainer. Hey, this is what I'm seeing. I want to have kids. What things can we do to help maybe make that transition a little bit easier? Because it's a lot. It's a big change. We see changes in dogs even as soon as the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Oh my
As soon as
God.
mom's pregnant, dogs are completely
Yeah.
different.
Because of
I
the
know.
pheromones,
Yep.
they can smell them.
And on the flip side of that, I'm thinking of the dogs in my home. They didn't grow up around children, not little
Right.
children. My kids are all adults. My nieces and nephews are all adults. And Queen's easy because she's a boxer. She loves everybody. But the pitties, all three of them are a little unsure when they see children. It's not something that is familiar to them
Yeah.
or normal. So, if kids were coming in the house, I am going to manage those dogs.
Yeah.
I am going to keep an eye on them.
It's a really good point too. Rachel, when you both told me in my puppy class, if I have kids, use the kids to do the dog approach, the human to dog approach. And it occurs to me that it's as good for the dogs
Oh, yeah.
as it is for the kids.
Gets them around.
Right? Yeah, and you can
Families
watch.
might not have kids, but
Yeah, and you can-
I have 0 kids in my family. So
Yeah.
Coda grew up with it. We had kids around then. Kira's whatever, but Kenai has not been around kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets some kids. He's fine with Selena's family. Their kids. Oh my gosh, he adores them. But they're very mellow.
Yeah.
They're really good with dogs. They've just been raised around dogs, so they
Yeah,
know don't
they
run
know
up,
what
don't
to
jump,
do.
don't grab, don't do all these things. So it's definitely like even if you don't plan on having kids now or whenever.
Yeah.
Even if you don't plan on it, the more you can get your dogs around
Yeah.
kids, dogs, puppies, adolescents, whatever, get them around kids if you can,
They're in the world.
because they're
They're in
there.
Playgrounds.
They're
That's
You can
right.
go to playgrounds and be safe.
Dog parks.
Yep, we're going to talk more about this, but there's a thing called a muzzle. You know, that because that is not an easy one to mess with. You know, you can't take chances with dogs and kids if you're unsure about something, so you put a muzzle on them. You were working with a little puppy today, a muzzle. It wasn't with kids, it's with the groomer. But the muzzle's an amazing training tool because the dog learns, I can't bite.
And learned so fast.
So
I came in
fast.
and I asked Pam, would it happen that quickly? Like, he went for me hard,
Yeah.
hard, like 5 times. Boom, boom. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm
Because
just
he
gonna
learned
keep-
that it worked.
Yeah. Didn't work. And all of a sudden, like after you left, Rachel, oh my God, I was picking up his feet and his little his little toes and
So cool.
using the little.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
He was
Because he couldn't use his mouth. So if they
Couldn't
can't
do
use
it.
their mouth, they have to figure out a way to manage a situation. And again, this is where you step in as the owner, right? We're not going to ask them to tolerate too much, but we're also going to let them know you can't bite. I will help you. That's the key.
And I think there's this idea behind muzzles that, it means you have a nervous or fearful dog.
Yeah.
Right? And you're doing the right thing by being safe
Mhm.
and putting a muzzle on. And like you said, sometimes the muzzle can help slow those behaviors down. You know,
Yeah.
a dog who's biting the groomer, you put a muzzle on, they realize, okay, go ahead, keep trying. It's not going to
It's not
work.
going to work.
and
It just trains them.
well, and you are not going to come to any harm. In fact,
Yeah, you're
this
safe.
the groomer might feel kind of nice. You're
Yeah.
going to get brushed.
Right.
and
They
rubbed.
learn.
Yeah, that it doesn't have to be that. I think there's an association too with muzzles back in the day were these metal, like horrible things,
Yeah.
and they are not that. You know, just like a lot of things, the technology and the intelligence around how we deal with this has come a really long way, and
Yeah.
I think it's helped us
They're pretty
manage.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Rachel's working with a dog right now who we knew when we started the training. We've seen her lunge at people, and she's quick and she's scary. And so we're doing training, and she's been amazing. But from day one, you told them, let's start desensitizing a muzzle. Let's make a game of it at home. Anytime she gets treats, you put the muzzle on, make her chase you around, give her treats, a few times a day. So the muzzle becomes something she'll wear. Because last week we needed the muzzle. Everything was going great, and the training took a little step back, and she made a go at Rachel. And she's going to be wearing a muzzle now. Of course, to keep Rachel safe, but to teach her, you can't bite me. You can't bite me. You can lunge at me all day long. And the muzzle teaches that better than anything.
yeah.
It's just, if a dog can't do something, they stop trying. And she's a quick trigger. She has something in her brain that, makes her very inconsistent and very, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't rely on.
She does not have a tell. If this is who,
No.
she does
Yeah.
not have a tell.
She just
None.
goes from, happy waggy to lunging at you real fast. And it's become less and less, but it still happened.
Yeah.
So we're going to the muzzle. And we started this off with homework for the owner, get her comfortable wearing it in case we need it. And now we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, muzzles are great. So I jumped way ahead on that. But muzzles are great. And people feel like they're admitting something when they put a muzzle on their dog. You're admitting that you're a good dog owner.
That's right.
There you go. Okay, you have our full support. Muzzles, there's nothing wrong with them. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. By the way, we couldn't get it on her on Saturday. I have to figure that out. It kept coming off. Something was wrong with her muzzle, so she's trying a different one.
Okay.
But anyways, I digress. Okay, so dogs and kids, big topic there. Rachel touched on something that we didn't really talk a ton about, but don't let them pull their tail. Don't let them grab their ears.
Oh, the
Don't let
kids,
them
you
get
mean.
right in their face.
Yeah.
Don't let the kids do that to your dog. Teach them how to safely touch an animal. Keep them away from their face. Slow pets down the back. Remember that tail is an extension of their spine. We went over this when we did kind of the anatomy of the dog.
Yeah.
And that hurts. That hurts them. Kids that pull tails get bit very often because it just hurts the dog. And their natural reaction is to turn around because that hurts.
Yeah.
Watch the feet. Don't touch their feet. They're very sensitive with their feet and their paws. So the back is a good one. Nice slow pets down the back. If a dog rolls over, a belly is
Belly
always
rubs.
safe. Yep. But really watch how your kids are touching the dog. That's a fun one to sit down with your child and teach them how to do. And the dog will appreciate it for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have on-leash dogs.
So the initial intent of this is how do I make sure that we're being careful, right? So we have 2 on-leash dogs approaching, and we'll get into the other stuff, but
Yeah. I have a hard and fast rule, and a lot of people find caveats to this, and that's fine. In my house, when we are on leash, we don't meet other dogs. When we are off leash, I'm going to step back and let you do your thing. I'm going to stay out of the way because I can't control the situation. But when we're on leash, we don't meet other dogs. I will cross the street. I will do a switch where I move them to my other side. I'll reward them with a treat for passing a dog. Like I walked all 3 of my dogs this morning. Yay!
Yay!
By the way, yay!
At the same time?
No, hell no.
Oh.
And that's another, but that's another thing.
Hell no.
You do not, don't feel like you have to, for whatever reason, walk your dogs
Oh my
together.
Goodness,
Like,
it's the worst thing ever.
but you can, and you know that, right?
I can't stand it. Even Tom and I tried walking all 3 of them together, and we went home.
Oh.
We were down 2 houses. Like they're different when they're together.
Yeah, and again, like Rachel's sitting over there going, "Oh, I do it all the time."
You're good at it.
You
You're
are
good
good
at
at it,
it.
and
You're good
and
at
all 27 of your dogs are good at it. Like they know, but that's not always the case. And
Yeah.
I think that humans think that they should be able to get to that space, and
Yeah.
they may not, and
Yeah.
it's okay.
You'll get extra steps in. It's really good for
It
you.
is.
Trust me on that one. But especially if you have a dog that's struggling on leash, we've got reactivity, we've got excitability, and I know we've talked about all of this. But if you've got 2 dogs, it's a lot harder to teach that dog how you want them to act.
Yeah.
If you've got 2 dogs with you, or 3 dogs, or 6 dogs.
Not saying any names,
Not naming Rachel.
Rachel.
I have 3 that I walk and 1 that I just let run because she's horrible on a leash, and I quit. I give her off leash time, and she wears an e-collar, and she's amazing. But the 3 that I walk on leash, I take them all separately, and
That's so cute.
I give them 20-foot leashes, and I let them sniff and do their thing, and they're so good. So you'll find your space with it, but they've all been trained independently. So that's why they're so good.
Yeah.
Yours have all been trained together. So that's why they're so good. But if you've got dogs in the household and you bring another one in, the one you're bringing in probably needs to be leash trained, right? So think about your on leash. There's another dog coming. Dogs meeting on leash can get very uncomfortable. The whole space can be very uncomfortable, and they're picking up on that, and they're attached to a leash, and they feel kind of stuck. So socialization on leash can be really hard. So my best advice is avoid it unless they know each other. If this is your dog's best friend and they play all the time and you know they're going to be fine, of course, of course. But random dogs you don't know. I mean, I had a client the other day and she was telling me he's great. His reactivity is really good. And this dog we got like within maybe 5 feet of another dog passing on a street, and it lunged at the last minute, and we didn't expect it. And, so she was on it because she switched him to the outside, and we just walked right past. So be ready and show your dog again. Here's the theme of the day, that you have their back, right? You're going to show them exactly what you want them to do.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add to On Leash, or do you have anything else to add? Because I know we did a whole series or a whole podcast on leash.
The one thing that, and I know you'll probably get to this, what if your dog is on leash? Okay, you know where I'm going with this. Yep, and gets approached.
Oh, I have a great story.
Okay.
I had this Rottweiler. She had a reputation in the neighborhood. She was not Kenai. She was a real,
HBIC.
Yes, for sure. And she was a big dog. And I was going over and just taking the dog out because the owners were never home and the dog walker refused to walk her. So I was going and walking her and working her reactivity in the neighborhood. And she was doing really well. Like I would have people say, oh my gosh, there's another Rottweiler in this neighborhood who looks just like her. And I'm like, that's her. She had this horrible reputation.
different.
Yeah, I'm like, she's training.
She's succeeding.
She's succeeding. We're getting it. So I'm walking her down the street and I see this white dog, little white fluffy dog. Yeah, I know. Coming at us, full speed ahead, barking. And I was like, well, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. She's not muzzled. She's, I've got her under control.
But.
So what I did was I stepped in front of that dog and I screamed at that dog.
Yeah.
I said, no. And I put my hand out. I said, go home. And it stopped and just stared at me.
Thank God.
So did this one. The Rottweiler was like, holy crap.
Oh my God, you just took on that little
She's crazy.
Jeez.
She's like, you go, girl. You're crazier than I am. And I started yelling, whose dog is this? Whose dog is it? And he stopped. And I moved toward him very aggressively. I held this dog back on the leash. She was in a sit. I put her in a sit and I said, you stay. She was like, oh.
Like, I'm not messing with you.
Yeah, I'm not messing with her. Because it's high intensity situations like that, I get very bold and amped up, and I was yelling at her, and the owner came out because she heard me.
Good.
And she picked up that little dog. But had it run into the Rottweiler, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good.
No.
And these little dogs don't realize they're little.
No.
You know? So you're on leash, a dog is coming at you. Again, have your dog's back. My dogs, I carry pet corrector with me because my dogs are afraid of pet corrector. But if a dog is running at me, I'm going to spray it toward them.
At the dog.
Toward them.
Yeah.
You really don't want to spray it at, but I mean, if it's aggressive and somebody's in danger, I'm going to spray it at them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So just be prepared. I keep that on me with every walk.
Okay.
Out here at the ranch, I keep an air horn on me in case we're approached by animals or something like that, because usually loud noises will do it. It'll back them up. But if your dog sees you step out in front of them and you get very firm and you move toward that dog and start yelling at him, usually the dog will stop.
Okay.
They will back up.
Okay.
Usually. I mean,
So,
you never know.
what if I'm gonna just start asking this, because this is one of those things where you guys have, oh my God, so many stories, so much experience with this. So, what happens if that dog didn't stop? Now, granted, in this case, it was a little, so that probably wouldn't have gone well for the little.
Yeah.
But what happens if it's not a little? What happens?
Big dogs.
Yeah, 2 big dogs.
Yeah. So we were talking about this before the podcast. There's a lot of different things you can do. I think the number one thing you'll see is that wheelbarrow where you pick up their hind legs. Because they lose strength and they lose traction, and you want to pick them up until their front paws are almost off the ground. Generally, they'll let go, and you're safer there. That's if they're latching on. I mean, if you have a dog fight going, don't reach in.
Yeah, do not put your hands
Do
in.
not put your hands in there. Grab those back legs.
And if you have a dog, if your dog is on leash and the other dog is not,
drop
that leash,
Drop
right?
their leash.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing in the world
It's
for
so
humans
hard.
to hear, but that's the question that I've gotten asked, oh my God, so many times, very recently. And I've always been nervous to say, drop the leash. And in fact, when we teach classes, and I spend a lot of time going through a good way to hold a leash.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I don't care if you've got a little, you do not wrap it around your wrist.
Yep,
Do
they'll
not
take you down.
They will take you down. Or if you do need to drop that leash, because it's better for your dog too, right?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
they stand a better chance if they're not tethered to you.
Now, I had 2 massive pit bulls. This was a really long time ago. And it's a very long story, but the bottom line is I had the big boy on leash, and he was on a slip, and he was walking nicely, and we were charged at by another big pit bull. And he grabbed that dog by the head.
Oh, God.
The dog I had. Now, it wasn't his fault. The dog ran up to him, but he grabbed it by the head. And it was awful.
Oh, my God.
And so there's a couple things they say. He was unaltered, so we tried grabbing his cojones. He didn't care at all. We tried lifting his legs, but he was like an XL bully. So he was so heavy. He was so front heavy, and his head was so powerful. It didn't matter. So I had him on a slip, and I took that slip, and I held it up, and I had to choke him out.
Wow.
And
So
he let go. He passed out.
Because he passed out.
He passed out. The slip was up high, so it didn't hurt his trachea.
Yeah.
It cut his airway.
Yeah.
And I just held it up. And the dad was there, and he helped me hold it up because he had a grip on that dog. I mean, he put a couple holes in her head. She was okay, but she wouldn't have been okay if we didn't get him off of her.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started muzzle training after that one. Because I didn't sleep well for a couple days
It's
after
shocking,
that. It's
right?
like watching a car crash.
Yeah, and it's shocking to see another dog do that, especially if you know the dog.
And it sucks because at the end of the day, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing.
Someone's gonna get
as
hurt.
the dog who just bit this other dog who charged us, I cannot do anything about it.
Yeah.
Which is why don't let your dog off leash if
Please,
they're not supposed to be off leash.
Please, people, be careful. I get that accidents happen.
Yeah.
Just please be careful.
Yeah.
I think I told the story one running toward Roman the other day, but he's deaf in his right ear.
Oh, no.
It's my favorite.
The dog was coming from the right, and I about had a heart attack. It was another little white fluffy dog, and Roman goes like this.
Oh.
He looks to his left because he's challenged like directionally.
Yeah.
Because of it, he had no idea. The dog was maybe 10 feet from us, and it stopped. I think it was tethered, actually. It came out on a long line because I don't know why it stopped. I just went into like fight or flight because Roman, I don't know what he'd do.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
he
I
takes
don't know.
poops bigger than this dog.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
this dog was smaller than Roman's head.
Oh God.
And he's just looking to his left. He's nice and calm, like, what was that noise?
Oh.
And it's going, bah.
Oh
I
my
couldn't
You're
believe
like, okay,
it.
let's go.
We
Yeah.
did. We crossed the street.
Yeah,
He never saw it.
that's good.
See,
I'll
we
take
love
it.
deaf dogs.
Yes, we do.
We love our deaf
Yes,
dogs.
we do. So you just mentioned something too, and I want to make sure we touch on this, which is the tether.
Mm,
When you said that the other dog was on a tether.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be a bit of a flyer here.
Sure.
But
it's a good one.
I want to go there because you also mentioned that a lot of the bites that happen.
yeah.
Okay. Take it away,
They actually
Pam.
call them chained dogs.
Chained.
Which
Yeah.
just paints a picture of what chain on a dog. But 50%, so what does it say? 60 to 70% of bites to children came from dogs that were tethered or chained. So think about that. It's very similar to what we're talking about. I have a dog on leash and another dog is approaching erratically or coming at me as a threat. That dog is ready to roll
Darn
because they are tethered, they are stuck. There is no fighter, there's no flight.
Yeah,
There's
it's
only
not an
fight.
option.
There's,
It's
you
not
can't
an
leave.
option.
there,
You're
so I'm
stuck
gonna
here.
fight.
I gotta fight. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Right? It's like being backed into a corner. So it's 60 to 70% of bites on children come from dogs that have been tethered.
Makes total sense though.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like you
Yeah.
gotta keep your kids, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
away.
Mhm.
Don't
And you
tether your
know,
dogs
we
for those
use
kids.
tethering. We use tethering as a training option. We
Mhm.
have people who've used it incredibly successfully. You have to be really careful with it, especially young dogs
Yeah.
that you need to keep an eye on, that need to just learn to calm. You can tether. There are a lot of rules around tethering. You don't leave them. You stay near them. You make sure they're safe. And most importantly, keep the kids away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the
Absolutely.
kids away from them. It's their space. They're stuck in a space. They know that. That's what they're learning to do. Don't let their space be invaded.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's such a big deal.
Be fair.
Huge deal. You
Huge.
have to be fair to
Yeah.
the kids and to
And
the
the
dogs
dog.
because if your child runs up and gets bit in the face, now they're terrified.
Yeah,
And not
forever.
all dogs are like that.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's just
It's a really
kind of a
good point.
situation that
Yeah.
just happened.
And how many adults have you met that said, I'm a little nervous around dogs because I was bit as a
Oh
child?
my God.
Yeah.
I can
It
I can
sticks.
count. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, half my family
Have been
terrified
bit?
of dogs.
Really?
Yep. Either they've been bit or someone they know has been bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it
They're
doesn't
powerful.
go away.
No.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't. No. And they're crazy powerful. They can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one. Okay.
More stories.
More stories coming. Where Pam screwed up. Off leash. This is a big deal because this is really hard to control,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when I was on the board of the rescue, I've alluded to this before, we had a kennel. And I would go in the mornings and I would let all the dogs out to feed and eat. And one morning I was rushing and we had a dog that we knew was difficult. He was kind of a lifer. You know, he stayed with us until it was his time to go because he was a dangerous dog. He had a bite record. And there were only a handful of us that managed him. Well, he had a girlfriend. And her name was Luna, and she was a big red-nosed pit bull. And so I would let those two out every morning before I let the rest of the dogs out, let them play, and then I would feed them. Well, somebody had put a new dog in Luna's kennel, and I was moving so quickly and didn't even notice.
Oh wow.
I opened the kennels, I went to the back door, opened the door, and just let him run out, and really never looked. And the new dog was a male, probably 8 or 9 years old, super malnourished, very thin and unaltered.
Oh.
And I was inside making food and I hear this noise. And so I went out and looked, and for sure the dog had the new dog by the neck. And he was gonna kill him. Like there was no doubt
Yeah.
in my mind that he was gonna kill him. And I did exactly what you're not supposed to do.
Learn from her.
Of course, right?
Here, listen.
I am always going to be the one who does exactly what you're not supposed to do.
So that we all have the opportunity
That's right.
to learn.
Here we are. See, it all just came right into this moment here. I stuck my hand in there and tried to pull his mouth off of that dog's neck because he had him. And God bless the other dog. His name was King. King just stood there. He was frozen. Had King, the second King moved, I knew he would have taken him down. So I reached for the other dog, whose name was Chief, and Chief redirected on me immediately and grabbed my hand in his mouth. Yep. And he broke 3 fingers. And I mean, he crunched down on that hand. This was a long time ago.
And he broke 3 fingers.
They work. They're
It's
all
fine.
good.
Everything's
Everything's
fine.
Oh
fine.
my God.
He broke 3 fingers. So I screwed up. That was not the way to handle that. But at the same time, I screwed up from go. It was happening. It was my fault. So I did what I wasn't supposed to do because all I could think was help King. What would you do in that situation?
Right.
Get a freaking hose. Get a big hose. Get a big, powerful hose. If you're in a space where you have multiple dogs, maybe you're running a daycare, I don't know, have a big
hoses.
hose
Yeah.
around.
Okay.
Yep. Or you can take food dishes and you can bang them together.
Loud noise.
Loud noises.
Pet corrector.
Pet corrector might do it. Air horn might do it.
Probably an air horn would have, because pet corrector I feel like would have just been like,
Yeah.
Might
Nothing.
not work.
Nothing.
Air
He
horn.
was in a zone.
Yeah.
And he was a different dog.
Yeah.
You know, most dogs aren't like this. He was happy until he wasn't. But you know, when dogs are fighting and they're grabbing another dog like that, they are not in their right mind. You guys have seen it. They're just not in their right mind. I've seen it in my own home.
Mm-hmm.
And this dog, as soon as I got him behind a gate in a kennel, I mean, I had to push him behind the gate and kick him, and he bit my toe when I was kicking. And as soon as you could see it in his eyes, when it was over, and he just started wiggling at me.
Yeah.
Like he wanted his breakfast. I fed him. I walked him the next day. Like it was just gone. The devil was gone.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
And we talk about this all the time where they get into this headspace that they don't hear you, they don't smell you, they don't see, like nothing.
Everything goes away.
It's
and it
gone.
is the red zone.
Singular
Yeah,
focus.
Singular
Yeah.
focus.
They're out of their
So
minds.
dangerous.
It's very, very dangerous. So we're not helping you guys out here at all. I know, by just telling you the scary things that can happen. But when your neighborhoods are bad for this,
Mhm.
neighborhoods make me really nervous because dogs escape homes, they escape yards. I remember jogging one day on the easement behind my house, and I had headphones in, and I'm doing my thing, and these 2 doodles just go running past me. I'm like, what's going on? You could tell that was a joyride. Like somebody left the gate
Oh,
open.
yeah.
Oh, they were just booking it. And all they were doing was neck and neck, like racing each other. They didn't know where they were going. And thankfully they were friendly. But I mean, dogs will get out, you know. So carry something on you. I'm always keeping pet corrector. You can get pepper spray, but the chances of that coming back at you are pretty harsh.
Yeah.
There's something out there called Halt, which is made to stop animals. It is kind of like a pepper spray, but it's not as light, so the wind doesn't pick it up quite
Oh,
as
that's
much.
interesting.
But you don't want to get it on yourself
Yeah.
because it's kind of like eye burning. But there are a lot of different things out there that you can use. you
Yeah.
know.
And I think I appreciate that you're saying we're scaring the living daylights out of all of you guys by telling you these things, but we do, I mean, the hose, all of those things are things that was kind of where I wanted to get to is, okay, we've done all this and still it happens. So what do we do? And the hose,
Be prepared.
yeah, and do not put your hand in.
Don't
if
put your
you've
hand in.
got access to a leash on one of them, use that.
Yeah. Grab a leash, not a collar.
Not a collar.
You're too close to their
not-
mouth.
Okay, but I've also heard you talk about scruffing a dog. Would you do that or not do that? And does it depend on the dog?
Maybe a puppy
Okay.
I was gonna say a puppy.
or a small dog.
When they get
depending on
into
the
it.
situation.
Yeah.
If you can safely grab their scruff, then a puppy, yeah. But big dogs, not worth
Generally,
it.
when they go into the red zone, you don't want to touch them at all.
At all.
No.
But if you can catch it beforehand, like when we're running daycare, we'll know, okay, here he goes again. I know exactly what his intentions are, but he hasn't escalated emotionally or psychologically yet. So maybe we come in and we pull him out and we remove him, we make him sit, and we start over, right?
Okay.
Rarely in daycare do we scruff. These aren't
No.
our dogs. But with my dogs, I would scruff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know that they won't redirect on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I feel more comfortable doing that with my dog than with somebody else's dog.
Okay.
But I've been in people's homes where they said, what about scruffing them? I said, if you're comfortable with that, then let's do it. If it's
Okay.
a big dog who's really being a punk, it can be pretty effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just seems that one just seems risky.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
would say just for puppies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scruffing's good for puppies. They get it. That's what their mama would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd scruff them.
Okay. And that's a good point. What you mean by scruffing is grabbing the scruff of their neck.
Yeah, right
Right?
on the back of their neck, they have that extra skin, so you can grab it and lift, and they're kind of.
And they typically can't get you, which makes me think. Okay, you talked about picking up the hind legs or the cojones. What's preventing the dog from because that seems more risky even than scruffing. Because
If you keep moving, they can't really get you.
they can't.
They
You
can't.
move
Yeah.
away from them. They can't turn to. If you're
They don't
grabbing
have
their hind
leverage.
legs, they've lost that leverage to push and turn and get.
Oh,
generally push
interesting.
and turn and get to you.
Okay.
So they're like, what's happening? What's happening? And sometimes you'll see them turning to the
Yeah.
side, but they can't quite get to
Get
you.
you.
Okay.
You're far enough away.
Is it important then that you keep hanging on, so that
Yes.
Don't let go.
Okay. Well,
Grab.
well, that's
Generally, they're going to go back at the other dog.
well. So that's
Yeah.
what I mean, though. And this seems like a stupid detail, but if you get them away, it seems important that you hold on
Yeah.
until they have calmed
Move them as far away as you can.
Yeah.
Get them away from
Until
the
they
other
can
dog.
calm
Okay.
down
Keep-
and come out of that.
and to keep a
away.
hold.
Yeah. You can keep
Okay.
a hold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm glad I asked. That.
Me too. Yeah, it's a really good question. When just thinking about the scruffing, I have scruffed my dog Roman. I still scruff Roman, and he weighs 82 pounds. And he sees me coming for his neck, and
Oh.
he stops what he's doing
Yeah.
right away. And now if I do get in there and I grab him, he immediately rolls to his back. So when I scruffed him as a puppy, I would flip him on his back.
Okay.
And I would just hold him there. I wouldn't say anything. I'd just hold him on his back. You know, like he's like mortified.
It's kind of like submitting
Yeah,
when he's
for
too
sure.
big to be submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Because he was pushing it in my pack, and he had to know that I'm
Yeah.
big. Look what I can do to you. So I've still scruffed him at this point
Poor little
because I
guy.
can grab his. I know he won't redirect on me. Roman would never.
No.
See, I sound just like this
Yeah.
person here. He would never do that. But I'm not afraid of him. So I still scruff him, and when I grab his back of his neck, he immediately flops on his back. This big dog just goes. Yeah. Have you seen him do it?
Yeah.
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 So he goes, okay, I give.
Yeah.
I quit.
Uncle.
But what it did for him at a younger age was it really slowed down that escalation because he had it in him for sure. He doesn't escalate anymore. He listens to you guys in the yard. He's got
wonderful.
good voice command because he knows he has to listen to the people in charge.
Mhm.
So, and that was just how I did it.
Yeah.
But you can use a water bottle. You can use. I remember growing up, it was cans and a penny or
Pennies in a can.
Can you get cans in a penny?
That'd be interesting.
No.
Pennies in
Rachel's
a
like, I haven't
can.
heard of that one.
Yeah. I was like,
Pennies in a can.
That was before your time.
I know the pennies in a can. I didn't know the can in a pennies.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That was new.
Isn't that amazing how my brain does that? You can take a water bottle and put a couple rocks in it, and I know they do that for herding stuff to move the dogs around. Some people aren't crazy about it, but we're talking about interrupters. We're talking about ways to get attention and to keep them from escalating like that. So there are a lot of different things you can do.
Yeah.
So off leash can be really scary though,
Yes.
because you feel very out of control. We've talked before about e-collar, and I would be very cautious about using e-collar in a dog fight.
Oh my God. Not the place.
not
right?
the place.
Not the place.
Not the place. We had a dog we trained, and this is a very specific kind of training, you guys, and we don't do it that often, but we had a dog that we trained that was playing way too rough with the other dog at home, charging her from across the yard, tumbling her, and she was an older dog. So they wanted to e-collar. So what we did was we did fun recall with her. We did all sorts of other commands with the e-collar. And then we would let her play with one of our training dogs. As soon as we saw her perk up, we'd call her to us. Remember this?
Yep.
It was Dozy.
Oh,
So
that
here was
right
the
when I
cool thing that happened with Dozy. We'd see her play, we'd see her perk up, she'd remove herself.
She learned.
So it was similar to scruffing Roman. I learned I start to get to this point and I just need to remove myself
Yeah.
because they're going to call me anyways.
Yeah.
Right? And it
Mine-
was a low stim on the collar. It was just basic recall, and she got it.
Yeah.
So fast.
It was really neat.
was
We were
pretty
all out
incredible.
there. Yeah, it was pretty incredible
Yeah.
because it was trained beautifully by you guys. Was it Rachel?
I think it was Rachel.
Yeah, it was trained beautifully, and it was the way to use it. But you don't come in hot with an e-collar when a dog's fighting.
No.
They're going to fight harder. It's going to make it worse.
It's not going to end
terrible.
well for anybody.
1,000. Yeah, so that's not the way to go. And that's a very specific sort of training, that you get the dog to make the choice to not go there. That's the key, right? So, but that's a whole nother discussion. And if that's something you want to do, definitely reach out to somebody who is a professional.
Knows
and
what they're doing.
knows
Yeah.
what they're doing. Yeah, like us,
Huge.
because we do. So I think it's a really good topic. People may have a lot of questions out there. There's no silver bullet for this sort of thing. It's situational. It's natural reactions.
Yeah.
My natural reaction is to stick my hand in the dog's mouth.
God. Then break 3 fingers.
You think I'd learned? I think I have learned. I haven't done it
You haven't
since.
done it since then, so that's
So far,
Harsh
so
lesson.
good. Fingers are
lesson.
working.
Yes. Yes.
And I know neighborhoods are scary, you guys, so carry something on you. There's a lot of cool tools out there. I mean, we talk a lot about pet correctors, just an easy one to put in your pocket. Looks like you're happy to be here.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Okay.
I always think that when I put it in my pocket. I'm like, what do people think I have going on over here?
I keep
It's
it in
just my
my
pet
in my little,
corrector.
yeah, is that
I
just
keep
your-
it in my lower pocket.
Oh,
That's a good idea. I just keep it in my little fanny pack.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Rachel's well hung.
That's what we all say
It's
about
just
her.
iced tea. It's just iced tea.
Yeah, indeed. Nice.
Sure, sure.
Awesome. Well, great discussion. I think this series is important. And I'm hoping the next one's rattlesnakes. So little teaser for you guys there. We're going to meet with him this week and get it prepped up so that we can get you guys some good information because we're coming Southern California here. We're already into it.
Yeah.
Because we had a really warm winter.
Really warm winter.
Yeah, you don't know this yet, but there was a big rattler out here last week. Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
we're seeing them. I've seen 2 now. And in the last 2 years, I saw 0. This year already, it's May, we've seen 2. So, and they've been talking about it everywhere. It's going to be a bad season for rattlesnakes because it's a warmer one. So having Bruce on will be awesome. It'll be really awesome.
Be very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So if you guys have anything situational in regard to, kids and dogs and dogs, on leash, off leash dogs, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you and we'll cover it.
Yeah, we will.
While we're going through this series, we'll cover any questions you have. So sweet. I like it. It's a good topic. Thank you guys for joining us as always. And I think we'll end it there.
Nice.
Awesome.
This is Pam Chandler signing off from the Dog Days podcast.
And Noelle.
And Rachel, catch you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.